Now, on the sidelines of the APEC finance ministers' meeting, our Martina Fuchs caught up with Joe Oliver, Canada's finance minister. He said despite fresh fears of a new global slowdown, threats are still limited, but that strategies to boost growth are urgently needed. Regarding China, Canada is still lagging behind in the race to set up an offshore RMB center. But Oliver says that discussions among officials are currently taking place.
In October, the IMF cut the world global outlook for 2014 and 2015, saying that we might actually never go back to pre-crisis levels of growth. Do you think that we are in a new crisis at the moment?
Well, I wouldn't characterize it as a crisis, but there is the danger of a new mediocre. One has to understand, however, that growth is uneven across the globe. Europe is flat, and there's a danger of a deflationary cycle because the inflation rate is so very low. On the other hand, in North America, in the United States and Canada, the UK and China, growth is, if not robust, is moving along at a respectable rate. So what we need to focus on are strategies to increase global growth, because even those economies that are doing better are trading economies and, of course, impacted by low growth in Europe, which is, after all, the largest single economy in the world, $17 trillion right now.
The Canadian economy is AAA rated and has continued to outperform thanks to an infrastructure pipeline and a budget surplus expected next year. What is your GDP growth outlook for this year and then 2015?
Well, we expect the GDP growth to be in excess of 2%, which is not as good as it was before the recession, but the growth has been better than most G7 countries, and we expect to be one of the leaders among the developed countries in the world. We're looking forward to a surplus next year. Our banks are considered the most stable in the world by the World Economic Forum, the 7th year in a row, and we're looking to continue to decrease taxes for hardworking Canadians.
The internationalization of the RMB is also increasing, and there are several offshore RMB centers being set up in Singapore, London, Frankfurt. How is Canada planning to step up its game?
Well, this is basically a private sector initiative. There are Canadian banks and other companies that are interested in the creation of a RMB hub in Canada. That would imply a currency swap between our two central banks, the decision about a clearing system and quotas for institutions involved in the market. There have been some discussions among officials in that regard.